this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and see there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. When I lose myself, when it seems I've lost my way, when I go inside and quiet my mind, I can hear Spirit gently say, there is only love. There is only love. It's a love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. It's a love that heals, a love that sets me free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love.
That's so beautiful. Oh, there's only love. Can you tell that we have a new month and that we're going to be talking about love? Good morning. I'm Reverend Sharon Dunn, the senior minister, founding and senior minister of the Sacramento Center for Spiritual Living. Welcome. And I noticed we do have a special guest, Deborah. It's good to see you. And I know that you're going to love who our practitioner of the day is. So just before I introduce her, I want to talk about the fact that we all year long have been working with the theme Living Out Loud. And this month, brand new month, we have the theme Love Out Loud. And so all month we're going to talk about love, and I couldn't be happier. And today's topic is I love myself so much. And we're just starting out a new month with such a wonderful theme. I mean, I guess we get to just live love all month long. We even have a new book of the month. This book of the month is called All About Love by Bell Hooks. And Bell Hooks her real, or her, that's her pen name, Bell Hooks. Her name, her given name is Gloria Jane Watkins. And she was an American author, theorist, educator, and social critic who was a distinguished professor in residence at Berea College in Kentucky. And I want to share one quote from her book. Whether we are engaged in a process of self-love or of loving others, we must move beyond the realm of feeling to actualize love. This is why it is useful to see love as a practice. So we're going to talk about that today. So I am so happy to welcome our outreach practitioner, Linda Connolly, who lives in Canada now. And Linda, before you pray us in, before you share our readings with us, please share an update on how you are doing. I know that you had a hospital visit recently, and tell us, how are you, dear?
Well, I am doing fantastic, actually. I feel better now than I have in years.
Wow.
Probably at least 3 years, if not more. I apparently had some a viral or something. They figure that, I have fluid built up in my heart and some in my lungs. But it's gone or diminished. I don't know for sure what the correct term is, but I'm feeling good. I'm walking up to 4 kilometers a day. I'm working my way up to 10, but I'm supposed to do it gradually. So I'm trying to rein myself in. But no, I am feeling so good. I probably lost a good 8-9 pounds of water.
Oh my goodness.
So it is just, I'm just feeling so great.
That's wonderful.
And I have to say, when all the talk about healthcare, I received the best. I couldn't have received any better care than what I received
Wow.
in the hospital. So I just feel totally blessed.
That's wonderful. Wonderful.
I had my kids with me in CCU, and they wouldn't leave me alone for 24 hours. For every one left, somebody else would be there. They'd both be there. Was constantly somebody there, so they could talk to the nurses and the doctors, and of course make me laugh.
That's wonderful. I'm so happy for your son who kept us updated. And so
Yes.
our prayer team could hold vigil for you. And I'm just so happy to see you. You look fantastic. And
Thank you.
And Ruth, I wanted to check in with you and how you're doing and your family. I know we're going to be back at your house on Sunday, next Sunday. So if anyone wants the address, make sure that you contact Ruth. We'll have our Sunday service there. And then we're starting to head towards, I think, one more there. And then I believe we're opening our center on the 24th.
Absolutely. We're looking forward to everybody coming back to our house for the next couple of Sundays, and then the new building. We are working hard. We're going to have some volunteer situations coming up for that too, right?
Yes. We're going to have some help and cleaning and getting ready and painting. We've picked out some colors. We're just really getting there. It's pretty exciting. So, and I'll check in on you as well with our project manager who had his total knee replaced on a week ago, Monday, the 28th of August. It's been a whole 6 days. Yeah, right. A week from tomorrow, a week ago tomorrow. It's been a long week. He's doing fantastic. We keep waiting for the big pain to happen and it hasn't. And he's just been really doing everything the physical therapist wants him to do. I think he thinks he'll be on a cane by the end of next week. So he'll be getting around pretty well. So let's get started. Let's have Linda, our beautiful practitioner of truth, pray us in and let's get started. Thank you. God bless you being here.
Thank you. And God bless this community that has seen me through some of the best and some of the lowest times in my life. So on that note, let's drop down into our hearts. that space where we connect with divine spirit, where we connect with the creator, where we connect with love. And let's perhaps even just gently touch our heart. But where we touch is where our focus goes, so that we can focus and breathe in and through and out through our heart. As we connect and breathe in and out in divine spirit, in the creator, in God, the mind of God, that breath of love, that breath of life that circulates through each and every cell and neuron and synapse and every part of our body is an expression of love, the love of divine spirit, expressing itself in, through, and as each one of us, expressing as love and joy and abundance and health and wellness of all that is good. All that is good is what is being and wanting to continue to be fully expressed through each and every one of us here as love, as our authentic love, as our authentic expression of love and joy. And we breathe in and out in this as we open to receive, I know, this divine message that will be presented by Reverend Sharon Dunn-Alberg. And we breathe in and out in gratitude for that, and love and gratitude for our production team headed by Ruth, who makes all these things possible and organized and has it flow just so perfectly. And we breathe out and in and out in gratitude for each one of us who shows up, who is drawn to this message, to this community that is so fully expressed as love. For this community of Sacramento Center for Spiritual Living is love fully expressed as intended by our teachings of science of mind. And I am so grateful, and I'm even so grateful for the music. And I know the little surprises that come along, because when Reverend Sharon is in the house, there's always going to be a pleasant surprise. So from this place of deep, heartfelt love and gratitude, we release it into the law and we say, and so it is. And now for our readings. As all is mind, and as we attract to us what we first become, until we learn to love, we're not sending out love vibrations. And not until we send out those vibrations can we receive love in return. Dr. Ernest Holmes. Love is the essential existential fact. It is our ultimate reality and our purpose on earth. To be consciously aware of it, to experience love in ourselves and others, is the meaning of life. Marianne Williamson. Whether we are engaged in a process of self-love or of loving others, we must move beyond the realm of feeling to actualize love. This is why it is useful to see love as a practice. Bell hooks, all about love. And now please stay tuned for this great presentation and music.
See if you can sing along.
Myself so much that I can love you so much, that you can love you so much, that you can start loving me. I love myself so much that I can love you so much, that you can love you so much, that you can start loving me. I love myself so much that I can love you so much, that you can love you so much, that you can start loving me. I love myself so much that I can love you so much, that you can love you so much, that you can start loving me. I love myself so much that I can love you so much, that you can love you so much, that you can start loving me. I love myself so much that I can love you so much, that you can love you so much, that you can start loving me. I love myself so much that I can love you so much, that you can love you so much, that you can start loving me. I love myself so much that I can love you so much, that you can love you so much, that you can start loving me. I love myself so much that I can love you so much, that you can love you so much, that you can start loving me. I love myself so much that I can love you so much, that you can love you so much, that you can start loving me. I love myself so much that I can love you so much, that you can love you so much, that you can start
You can imagine how much fun that was for me to make that little video. I had so much fun finding all these little love pictures. Anyway, I just love making photographs and making videos and making music and making love. So back to my topic, I love myself so much, it kind of was taken off of that song. So I thought we should have that song somewhere in the program today. And Ernest Holmes is the founder of our teaching. He is the author of The Science of Mind, and he was a scholar of all faiths, all religions. And what he did was he was raised as a Christian, and he was so spiritual and so religious, if you will. But also his mother was so open and she really was the epitome of love out loud, which is what our topic is today. She just loved all people. She was absolutely that demonstration of spirit in action, of God in action. Call it whatever you call it. In Ernest Holmes, bringing together all the faiths and all the ideas and all the great scriptures, and realizing that all of it has a lot in common. Realizing that a lot of it and most of it, we're all saying the same thing. And so in our teaching, in our community, you don't have to give up your religion or your faith or your beliefs. In fact, we celebrate all paths. And I just love that about our faith and our tradition. So Ernest Holmes said, and by the way, Ernest Holmes was also right there at the same time as Einstein, which is why we are the science of mind, because at that time when Einstein, and at that era, we were moving from Newtonian physics to quantum physics. So Ernest Holmes could then integrate psychology, philosophy, science, religion, all into one beautiful teaching that we can use to change our thinking, change our lives. And that's what we do here. So Ernest Holmes says intuition is spirit knowing itself. Now, when we say spirit or the divine or God or whatever you use to call that thing that creates all life, the creator creating creation, that creates each one of us out of itself. It can only create out of itself. There is nothing else. So we are that. Within each one of us, we have that thumbprint. We have that divine spark. We have that place in us that's never been injured, never been harmed. We have that soul, if you will, that is eternal and forever, just like spirit, just like God, infinite, eternal, changeless, and forever. And we have that within us too. When we shed our bodies, we do not shed our life eternal. So that is a beautiful idea that keeps us ever evolving. And so today, as we talk about love out loud, we establish our relationship with the divine. Then we can establish our relationship, our true relationship with everyone else. Now, what does that mean exactly? One thing I want to get into today is, what does divine mean? What does divinity mean? I know what it feels like, and and when I was doing my research this week, I was like, well, what exactly do I want to say definitely about divinity? And so I really got solid in that, and it was a wonderful week of really understanding my own divinity and the divinity of each one of us. That, by the way, connects us to each other. So when I say once we establish our relationship with the divine, then we can establish our true relationship with everyone else. We go through people. From the time we, are growing up, we go through people. We go through mom and dad and siblings and friends at school and friends at college, and we go through people. And we learn about those relationships. We're always evolving in our relationships. But when we establish a relationship with the divine, which we're going to get into, then we establish our true relationship with everyone else in their divinity, if this makes sense. In other words, really understanding that we're connected to one another in our divinity really says, guess what? We're related. We're related, by the way. Everyone is my relative. I don't care if I like them or not. I mean, I don't know about you, but we have family. We don't always like everyone in the family. And, it's not that we don't like them. We don't like perhaps their behavior. Maybe. Is that it? I don't know if that's ever happened to you in your family. But I've had some experience with family members that color outside the lines. And I've had to remember, as I have established my relationship with the divine, I have then established that my relationship with everyone else is divine. And so I can then separate behavior from soul to soul connection. And that helps me a lot to stay in the principle of love. And what is a principle? It is that which is true for all. Principles are like love and abundance and good and intelligence and love and light and peace and joy and all. So we're going to talk about this divine, this divinity. Our spiritual nature is eternal, and our spiritual relationship with the divine is eternal. We must remember that, because I think when we get to thinking this is all there is, we limit our thinking towards others. We might consider even that behavior is all there is. And that will step us up and cut off our ability to continue loving. And so we want to really be careful here to be able to discern what is love and what is like, I don't like. So our spiritual relationship with each other then is also eternal. Did you ever think, yeah, I can get out of this one in this life? You know, we don't know what is next. What I do know by what I believe, and what I'm comforted by believing is that life is ever expanding, and there's so much proof everywhere. We can, in fact, know our loved ones when they have passed on into the veil. We know them still. We can know them and feel them. And so I must believe that our life is eternal and forever. So our relationship then is not subject to time and space. This is what we call consciousness. When we learned about quantum physics, we learned that there is something more than just the material Newtonian world, that there is something beyond that is what we call today consciousness. And in that place, there is no time and space. It is forever and ever and eternal. And that is absolutely spirit. I call spirit God. Others, there are hundreds and hundreds of names for what we can call that thing. Just call it. It always answers. I always say. So the central point has to be established in order for there to be universal peace, brotherhood, equality, and unity in the world. You do understand that what I'm saying here is this central point, that we are related. We are relatives. And bring someone into your mind to join the family at the table. Bring someone that is maybe difficult for you, maybe a politician, maybe a world leader. Bring them to the table. Bring that person that you've had to release and let go of in your life because of behavior. Bring that person, that spirit of that person to the table as we talk today, because this is the central point. And it has to be established in order for there to be peace in the world. And don't think for a minute that we cannot have peace on earth, but this is how we have to have it. This is how we get it. And so today I'm going to talk about divinity, dominion, and devotion. And divinity, I am thrilled to bring these ideas because it just has made so much clarity for me. This month, we're invited to lean into love and express love out loud. And let's look for love in every place we go this month, in the people we interact with, the events of the world, and most of all within ourselves. We're going to literally be a walking love out loud. We're going to be loving out loud all month long. So let's review together. We're going to review. If we want to see more love in the world, we must be willing to live as an example of love in action. Yes? Enjoying the experience of being loved and loving others starts with loving ourselves. Yes. We inspire love in the world by living as examples of what love looks like. This is science. If we want to encourage others to love themselves, we must love ourselves out loud. How will they know otherwise? The people around us benefit from knowing about our own self-love practices. And we want to be in those practices this month and sharing them out loud. Others are more likely to commit to their own practices after seeing how effective they are for people who they love. Reviewing, recognizing the divinity within all of us starts with recognizing our own divinity. Yes, science. Can't know what's anything out there until we know it within ourselves. When we consciously direct the energy of love, we transform the communities around us. Yes. Didn't we talk about that last week? Energy is what we are. Even Linda, read the reading today when Ernest Holmes talked about vibrations. We're not going to have any vibration of love come back to us without putting out those vibrations of love. We are energy fields, folks. We are energy fields. When we listen to our intuition, which is what? Our intuition is the way spirit communicates with us, correct? When we listen to our intuition and allow it to guide us, we are living in the flow of love. We're going to be deep listening. This is one of our practices. This is like going to the gym. We have so many things we do for our bodies. We hike, we go to the gym, we eat right. We're going to do that nourishing activity all month long with our heart space, with our love space, with our minds. Seeing our own divinity and honoring every step along our paths demonstrates to others that their intuition can be trusted. Yes, the more we trust our intuition, the easier the path becomes. Sharing our stories about our challenges and triumphs of listening to our intuition inspires others to do the same. We're going to share our stories. This is, to me, the most powerful thing we can do. Sharing our stories rather than telling one that you have to think this way, you have to talk this way, you can't use, that's not politically correct, that's not the way we're doing it now. Rather, we are simply trusting our intuition and telling our stories. I've gotten so much more understanding of my sisters and brothers by hearing their story than by making me rather than make shame, frame, and blaming me because I don't speak the right way and I don't say it the right way, or my privilege is showing, or whatever it is. Just share your story so that I can understand you. Everyone has a story. Let's dive deeper into loving ourselves and share our experience in the world. I want to start, when we get into our center, I so want to start storytelling. I cannot wait to hear from each one in our community. What is your story? Living a spiritual life requires a conscious understanding that spirit, or love, you can call it love, spirit, expresses itself as all of us. Divinity is our natural state of being. Now, what is divinity? It is our natural state of being. So, all this talk about identifying, how do you identify? What are your pronouns? What is your preferences? Divinity is our natural state of being. I identify as divine, the divine Miss S. It accompanies the spiritual energy and essence within all of us. We have a spiritual energy in us. All of us do. We're born with it. We're born with it. Indigenous people that have no contact with the outside world practice, their spiritual practices are divine. It is innate. It is natural for us to trust our intuition and to listen to that wee small voice. And why the heck is it wee small? Because we need to shut up and listen. We need to get out of the way and listen to that profound intelligence that is in every cell in our body, that awakes to our wholeness when we command it to do so. This is how we get better. And if dis-ease or illness or anything shows up, appears in our life. Our divinity is our truth. With a capital T. This is the truth of who I am. Yes, I am a lot of things. I have my DNA, I have my genetics, I have my gender, I have my blah, 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 blah. I have so many ways to identify in the world. But above all, I identify as a divine being of love. And I got to tell you, when I'm there, there's peace on my earth. And I know that if everyone joined me there, there would be peace. Even the majority. We don't need everyone, do we? Love in the formula, if it weighs more than anything else, it conquers all. It doesn't change regardless of what form we are, physical or spiritual. We need to practice the methods which also awaken the connection that we have to God. We need to practice. Isn't that what Bell Hooks said? You know, you got to take it out of the feeling. You got to do more than feeling. This month, we're asked to step out of the feels and get into the practice of loving one another. Give a compliment at the grocery store as you're going through the line. Do something special for someone in your life that they're not expecting. Find 100 million ways to love one another this month. This is the way we can fully grow and develop. And then our life will have meaning and purpose. We've been talking about that for months. We will be guided by our own upliftment, and we will be able to assist in the upliftment of others. Isn't that beautiful? Upliftment. That's what we're doing this month. This is something from the martial arts world. Above all, one must unite one's heart with that of the gods. The essence of God is love, an all-pervading love that reaches every corner of the universe. If one is not united to God, the universe cannot be harmonized. Martial artists who are not in harmony with the universe are merely executing combat techniques, not Aki. Uniting harmony and love with Ki, the universal energy. Isn't that beautiful? They're teaching us beyond behavior, beyond actions of violence or of mindlessness. Do you ever walk around kind of just not thinking about things and wish you kind of hadn't done that? Not me, of course, but it can happen. The essence of this perception has been related to the ancient Vedic texts in the Upanishads. We know the Vedas were one of the first scriptures of Hinduism. And we know the Upanishads and the Bhagavad Gita are part of the Vedas. And in there it says, he is the one God hidden in all beings. That means all pervading. The self within all beings, watching over all worlds, dwelling in all beings, the witness, the perceiver. Let me say this again, it's so powerful. In each of us, in the he, in the she, in the I am, is the one God hidden in all beings, all pervading, the self within all beings, watching over all worlds, dwelling in all beings, the witness, the perceiver. We cannot look at one another in scorn and expect peace within ourselves. This is the science of mind. We've got to get busy and take action and know that we make a difference in changing the energy in the world. Within that enlightenment, one can reach divine love. This love is based on the spiritual oneness and harmony between all beings, which is sublime. And remember, we can have moments of this. We are humans. What did I say last week? Humans ebb and flow. We live in all four kingdoms of consciousness at different times. Yes, we're enlightened. Yes, we're self-centered. Yes, we're giving. Yes, we're stingy. Yet, the more we practice and the more we give attention to our spiritual teachings, the more we affect the world, the more we have peace in our own lives. And not just peace, all that is good, all that we get the kingdom, we get abundance, and what did we talk about last week? We talked about the vibration of our energy and how we can increase, how we can change the frequency of our vibration, and the higher the frequency, the faster we get what we desire. I love that idea. So we can sit in and we can sit and in the lower vibration of shame and guilt and anger and so on and so forth that we talked about last week. But we can also pull ourselves up and out of that very quickly. And the quicker we get up to a higher vibration, the more and the faster we realize not only that which we desire for ourselves, but we leak that out into the world in such a beautiful way. This love is based on the spiritual oneness and harmony between all beings. It is a source of spiritual bliss. Who doesn't want spiritual bliss? Excuse me, but I would like very much to live there. I'm going to build a house there. I'm going to plant a garden there. I'm going to spend the rest of my days there. It is a love-based, not on bodily relations or mutual attraction, but it is based on being one in spirit beyond the temporary nature of the body. So this is where we get to kind of look beyond the bodily relations, or even the attractions we have to people, or especially the attractions we don't have to people. You ever notice that? Sometimes you vibe with somebody and sometimes you don't. Sometimes I feel like a nut. Sometimes I don't know where that came in. Thank you, Spirit. I'm a little love and joy this morning. Anyway, I want you to know that this state of being is reached only through spirituality. Okay? Only through that. What that means is that we are practicing spiritual principles. We are in our faith-based mindset. And we all have the need to experience this, by the way, all of us. Even when you say, gosh, that person has no empathy, that person has no compassion, that person is, is acting, in a sociopathic kind of behavior. That doesn't matter. The soul of that person is what we're connected to. That's my relative. And that's where if I can love my relative and show my relative, as I'm talking about, show it out loud, express how my practices, show how I journal, or I love my contemplative photography. I love that I can sit there with my camera for minutes on end and look at the world and share these beautiful images that I have spent time in the quiet and looked at something that I would have missed totally had I walked right by it. In the Bhagavad Gita, the Supreme says, "To one who sees me in everything and everything in me, I am never lost, and he, she is not lost to me." Isn't that beautiful? This is from the Bhagavad Gita. You could also find it in the Bible. This is what I'm saying. You could find it in the Quran. You can find it everywhere. To one who sees me, this is spirit, this is God, this is whatever you call it, Allah. To one who sees me in everything and everything in me, I am never lost, and he or she or thy is never lost, or thee is never lost to me. Call it whatever. This is so beautiful. Sometimes I feel lost. You know why? I have forgotten this. We get forgetful. And I think that's how humans ebb and flow, is we just get forgetful, or perhaps we're tired. Perhaps we just can't. We can't think beyond, our energy level. But it is always there no matter what. To begin seeing how things really are and to recognize the divinity in each of us, we have to start adjusting our consciousness. And what does that mean? We don't adjust consciousness. Consciousness is infinite. It is the infinite mind. It is the supreme intelligence. It is that eternal, immortal thing that creates all life. But we change our access to it. We change our relationship to it, our consciousness. We bring that up in our vibration so that we can access more, so that we can experience consciousness in our lives. Principle is one thing, love, light, and all of that. I always say love, light, peace, joy. Big deal, they're words. The only way to really have an experience of these principles is to know in mind, to accept the invitation to it. We have to experience it in order for it to even be real in our lives. We know this. So, despite being within the material body, the soul is above material contact. It is that place within us. And on the spiritual platform, which is the absolute, we are all the same. We are all the same. And I know that in the last 8 years, especially, there has been a higher frequency of focus on diversity and inclusion. We have had an amazing experience where the underbelly of the consciousness in our culture, and this could be worldwide, has been exposed for us. We have learned, I believe, let's just say me, Sharon, I have learned more in the last 8 years about what unity and oneness really means. And what needed to happen first before we can experience all that we're talking about today is we had to see ourselves as individuation. We had to see our unique expression of the one. We have to see what color we are, where we've come from, what our culture is. We have to be acknowledged for who we are as individuals. That has been very important for us. We have had to understand our history. We've had to understand the painful reality and truth of our history. And we're so individualized now. We have swung the pendulum so far to see me as who I am, different from you. I need you to see me different from you. And so I love this idea of spending a month bringing us back to center. And yes, we must see one another as individuation, as individualized expressions of the one. Must not ever forget, more importantly, our connection to each other. That the deeper truth and the bigger truth and the more profound truth and the truth that is going to get us peace on earth and action in our lives and help uplift our brothers and sisters and feed the hungry and stop the fighting is that the most important thing beyond is to see our connection to each other. So now it's time to integrate and that doesn't mean to not keep going with what we can learn from each other about equality and equity and freedom and what we need to take care of one another. It's got to be both and. We've got to start seeing each other as, yes, this is what I stand for. This is how I stand up. This is how I stand up. And this is how I identify. But let's not forget to add to how I identify that I am that is. And in that we are connected. And that's the umbilicus. That is where we're relatives. That is where we must come back to love. Always come back. If we don't start there, come back. Because I know some of the conversations that we are courageous enough to have these days are conversations on how do we get to unity? How do we really, because we're not behaving that way just yet. How do we get to all the things we dream of having as a nation, as a world? Well, we mustn't forget. We mustn't forget our divinity, that it is the nature of who we are. Yes, we have this skin, and yes, we have this culture, and yes, we have this religion, and yes, we have these differences. But our umbilicus is to each other. Our connection is God. Our connection is spirit. Our connection is the one. So the vibration is one of spiritual love. And I'm so glad I was able to talk about vibration last week. And this This is eternal. Yes. And so what? All else is temporary. Let's just be honest. Focusing on and using our energy on temporary emotions like envy and jealousy and anger will only keep us far away from each other, far away from our identity, and from reaching any peace or unity between us at all. And yes, we go through those. Humans ebb and flow. We go through those lower vibrations, and it's okay. There's nothing wrong here to be human. But once we see, how that feels, let's make a choice. Let's make a choice to have dominion. And this is where we have dominion over our lives. We're not born to fit in. We're born to stand out. Yes, we're born to stand out. And as each person is standing out and learning how to live out loud all week with who we really are and being out and proud, we must remember inherently our unique identities, our spirit. The seeds of love we plant today become the trees for tomorrow, right? Spiritual practice is not restricted to prayer and meditation. It's also giving to one another, feeding. Don't we have a meal train going where someone is getting getting meals from us because they are homebound at this point? Whatever we decide we are doing, we are taking dominion over how we are in the world. And so we're asking that we practice self-love first. So I'm asking you to join me all month and know and share with each other, how are we practicing self-love? Because that's where we got to start, correct? How we got to start is with self-love. And the last thing that I love the most is this idea of devotion. Devotion to God, to spiritual practice is one thing. My devotion this month, my promise, is that I'm devoted to loving you. And that's going to mean that sometimes I have to get out of my own way. Sometimes I'm going to have to take that human vibrational chart in mind, and I'm going to have to look at how can I move from shame and guilt and envy, and how can I move myself up into the vibration where I can affect you with love, with my love. And it can only happen if I'm actually experiencing it. The more love we see in the world, the more the world shifts around us. So we don't need to always pay attention to what's wrong. Do you ever notice how there are news reporters and newscasters, as I've noticed? The news reporters report the newscasters make it up. They get on there and they have their opinions and they tell what's going to happen. What do you think is going to happen here? Well, I think this is going to happen. Well, it's never happened yet. So we get this whole litany on what they think is going to happen. They're newscasters. Well, do you ever notice that most of the news is sensationalism? That we, for some reason, are really like, wow, it's drama. We just love drama. We love drama. And let's just say up until now, we can actually look at some good news. What's good in the world, what's happening in the world that is good. And there are news stations and there are news reporters reporting on wonderful things in the world. And we might want to take a little bit of drama and spice it up with something that's really good in the world, because remember, we're in a mathematical world, right? We can weigh more of good and cancel out some of that other. And others being transformed by the love we give. We literally do change the lives of others. In turn, they serve as examples in different ways that love can look. So have you ever noticed that we are showing up as love? Other people then are inspired to do the same. It doesn't hurt to acknowledge someone's efforts. It doesn't hurt to give praise. We give praise to God. So I'm including that first, give praise to God. You think, why would I do that? but don't forget the science of mind, that gratitude is the root of abundance. Why wouldn't we? You know, and I've just noticed that Larry's son, Craig, he's so wonderful. He's been here for the surgery. He's been in our guest room, and he has been everything to me as far as support. He's gone to the grocery store, and he's been to the center, working on the center. He's just amazing. And I'm just noticing that when I praise him, it seems like there's a vibration shift in the room. You know, it almost seems like people stand up straighter and you know, feel the love. Is that not true? I mean, I think there's ways we can praise one another as a concerted effort, you know, as a practice this month. Praise and appreciate and give love in different ways. I love the idea of loving someone the way they want to be loved. You know, I love to love people the way I want to be loved, because that's what I know. But what about observing? Well, that person really liked that. Maybe I'll do that again in the future. That's not something I would like, but that's something that person really seemed to like. In turn, we serve as examples. And what happens all the time, we're talking about how does this change the world itself? Because we set examples, and then we look for those around us. Mirroring, reflecting back. Did we not talk about that with the vibrations last week in our talk about energy? What it is reflected back to us. This is going to be a month full of love. Are we ready? Are we ready for a month full of love? And you know, the science of mind does not have to be the world's best kept secret. You can invite a friend when we open our center. You know, there is nothing to be secretive about our teaching. We are a loving community. You don't have to give up anything to come and join us. When we love ourselves out loud, we inspire others to do the same. So I'm saying, are you ready? Let's let spirit out of the bag. Let's let spirit out of the bag. Let's pray. I am so grateful. I love talking about the one and only. I love talking about love. And that is a name for God. Other names for God: Allah, Jesus, Buddha, the Great Spirit, Yahweh, peace, joy, abundance. There are so many names for God, for spirit. And I say, I am that is, that I am created out of its image. And so I have to be that is. And I know that for each of us, which gives me peace. Anytime I decide to know that for each one of us, I have peace in my soul. I have peace in my heart. And my soul, that imprint within each one of us, that is God's thumbprint in each one of us, that connects us to each other, that there shines bright. And I know that as I experience that part of who I am, that grows, that expands. That is the place I love to be. That is the place where I practice contemplation, reflection. I read scripture. I meditate. I walk. I exercise my body. I practice love. That place within me that is ever expanding gets me ready, makes me practice, so that when I come face to face with another human being, I'm ready. I'm ready to love. I'm ready to take that superpower of who I am and see to the superpower of who that person is. Knowing that there is a mirror within each one of us that sees each other in our wholeness completely as love. That it gives me the superpower to see beyond, like X-ray vision, to see beyond behavior, conditions, circumstances, situations. it helps me to see beyond the lower vibration into how easily I can then increase my vibration. I am love. I'm love in the world. I'm love in my heart. I know who I am. I identify as love. First and foremost. And I know that this is exactly who we are as the Sacramento Center for Spiritual Living, that this is what grows us, that the communities around our center will see us as that love. They'll feel that vibration in the community, and it will be the invitation, and it will hit that vibrational tone that is expressed to that wee small voice within us that brings us together. This is how we grow in love. I'm so grateful to know this. I'm so grateful that this prayer is answered, that this prayer is something that changes not only us, but the world itself. I'm so grateful to know this. And I simply release my word into the law that always says, absolutely. This is a spiritual law, mutable law. And I'm so grateful. So together we say, and so it is. Amen. Ashe. Shalom. Yeah. Hallelujah.
I wish you peace. I wish you joy. I wish you love, 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 love. I wish you faith in yourself to reveal all that you've come here to be. Love is my choice. Love is my decision. Love is my voice. Love is my religion. Love is my religion. I wish you strength. I wish you courage. Wish you love, 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 love. I wish you purpose to create all your dreams and co-conspire with the light of your life. Love is my choice. Love is my decision. Love is my voice. Love is my religion. Love is my religion. Oh, your answers to eternity are always deep inside you. That freedom of expression is yours to choose right now. Love is my choice, my religion. Love is my decision. Love is my voice. If you know the words. Love is my religion. Oh, love is my
So now is our offering time. As we breathe and come from this place of love, we offer our treasure as love to this community that is such an expression of love to each and every person in our community. Through our outreach, through our message, through all the things we do, we express love. And so breathe into your heart, and from this place of love and gratitude, go to our website, use that donate button. You can either pay by PayPal or credit card or even debit card. But from that place of love and joy, knowing that you receive you receive from as the vibration from which you give. You can also mail a check to the address that is there shown on our screen. And so it is this, it's from our place of love and gratitude for these teachings and from this center so that we can continue receiving and giving love, that we give from our financial abundance so that we can continue to receive and to give and be that vibration for each other and for the community around us. So please go on our website and check the multiple ways from which you can give. Thank you. And now from our abundance affirmation. I invite you to take your gift in your hand and repeat after me. In a consciousness of abundance, I give freely, knowing that I am freely given to. And so it is. And now, Reverend Sharon, with our latest news.
Thank you, Linda. I'm so glad we were talking about abundance, and because we are just about ready to go into our new center, and there's so much going on there that we're going to be so excited to get done, and all of it is going to cost us, and we're going to do a lot of fundraising and fundraising to get our actual sanctuary up and going. We're going to be in the fellowship area until that happens. And so we're going to look beyond the curtain to our big sanctuary, and we're going to be seeing all kinds of hopefully great ideas on how we can raise the stage and just raise up our sanctuary. So we've actually been meeting on the first and third Fridays at 6 on Zoom, and we've been sharing the updates on the building, and that we've actually been recording them, so they're now on our website if you're wanting to know what's going on. But it is amazing. We are really, aren't we, Ruth? We're getting to the point now where we are ready for sheetrock paint and painting the floors, and we're moving in. We've got the new roof, we've got the AC, we've got the windows in, we've got the water hooked up, we've got the bathrooms running almost, and we're just amazing at all the demolition that was done to get there. It's just so exciting. So definitely keep the faith, keep the donations coming. They really help us create that beautiful sanctuary that we want so much. And one thing that Jaime, always our beautiful webmaster, is always on updating our every week. He's updating our website, so you want to check it out. We are actually putting our YouTube, putting our videos on there for our Sunday services. We archive those. We're also putting on there just about every announcement we're making, every town hall meeting. And so it's really a wonderful, very active website. So Thank you very much. I'm going to turn this back over to Linda. She was just amazing and so glad to have you here.
Thank you. Now, another thing that you can find on our great website, saccsl.org, is you can go there and put in a prayer request. And as a receiver of these prayers, it is powerful. It is powerful. And the demonstrations are, to me, incredible. It's just the reminder to me constantly of the oneness of all things, that we are never separate. We are truly one. No matter what the distance is, we are truly one. So please go to saccsl.org and submit your prayer request. It will be prayed over by the ministers and the practitioners of our center. Now, our gift for you for this week is Live Out Loud. I have the courage to be who I am and love myself out loud. And now let's relax into benediction as we end this great Sunday message in service that we've received, and the message of live out loud. That it is our, as Jamie Lula says, it is our decision. It is my religion and my voice of love. And then to pay attention this week to loving out loud, but also love internally as ourselves, and being mindful of what we are saying to ourselves, our internal messages, to make sure that the vibration of love that we are sending out is actually comes from a place also of self-love, so that we can give others the permission to love themselves always. For that is actually the true vibration of love, to see love in all things, including ourselves, because everything is created in love. And so with this, I am so grateful for the message, for the music, for each and every person who is here today and who will be listening on YouTube. So from a place of love and gratitude, I release this by saying, and so it is. So please stay tuned for our closing song and our fellowship that will be following.
So this song is it's entitled Love, and I love this song because I consider it a gift from Marvin Gaye, for real. And so I want to thank Marvin for touching my hands and showing me where that chord was that was really special, and to remind us of what's really important. 2, 3, 4. Love, be encouraged, love. We'll see you through, love. Be the first to love and fill your heart with. Be about it. Sing a song about it. Never doubt that. Inspirational love is our shelter. Now and always love. Before and after love. Love, love. Gives you courage, heals your heart. It's the best thing, you can't go wrong with it, 'cause it's eternal and it has no end. So stand on up for love, full dimensional love is our shelter, now and always love, before and after love, love. Thing you without courage, love, now and always love, before and after love, 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 love being. Get your groove on.
Oh, I love that song. I love Ricky Byers back. Well, Ricky Byers, we're not Beckwith anymore.